The holiday season is finally here, which means many food banks are in need of items to help those in need. Joining us now to talk about what food banks need is Janis Robinson, Vice President of Institutions and Partnerships for Food Bank for New York City. Welcome, Janis.
Thank you.
So what are the typical items that food banks need this time of year?
So in addition to funds to help us raise 40 million meals to support our New Yorkers in need, we love to have shelf-stable items. And so those are things like rice and beans and pasta. Additionally, we like to have toiletries as well. Those are items that tend to be very costly, and people obviously need them as well.
Now, how have food prices and inflation impacted the number of people needing food banks this year?
No, unfortunately, the impact remains high. It's hard to believe that it's almost 5 years since COVID, but we are still experiencing a very high need during this time as a result of high prices for food, as well as high increases in rent.
And what are some of the greatest challenges that you're finding food banks are facing this time of year?
Well, we always need funds so that we can provide the meals. And then we also need volunteers. It's important. We cannot do this work without the help and support of volunteers.
And for those who want to volunteer, what should they know if it's their first time?
Well, they have to know that there is a tremendous need, and they will have an opportunity to see that firsthand. But then they know that they are welcome in our space. We work with over 800 soup kitchens, food pantries, and campus pantries, and all of those places need the support of volunteers. We welcome them with open arms.
And Janis, is there an age minimum? I mean, is this something that families can do together?
Absolutely. We encourage families. And as you know, a lot of families want to instill this support ethic in their children. And so we certainly welcome families. In some of our spaces, we need to have children be at least teenage, but in other spaces, they can be younger.
And I'm wondering if there are any myths around food banks and people who need food banks that you would like to dispel.
Absolutely. We'd love to dispel the notion that food banks are just for the homeless. There are working families and families who are working multiple jobs who really do need the support of food banks.
Well, Janis Robinson with Food Bank for New York City, thank you so much for the work you and your team do. We really appreciate it.
Well, we really appreciate you having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.